9747 4764. WhatsApp +61 46 888 1620 أو إيميل susan@صوتالغد.com.au.
Joining us today in studio, Minister for Multiculturalism and Seniors, Mark. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Susan. Good morning, listeners.
Thank you so much for being in here with us today.
Well, thank you very much for having me again.
Let us start our interview 2 years later after the Beiruut blast, and we still hope for justice in Beirut. What is your stand towards what happened in Lebanon? Is there anything that you would like to mention in this regard?
Look, in regards to Lebanon, Lebanon is a country that's very close to many right across New South Wales, and in fact, right across Australia, including my wife, who's of Lebanese heritage. She and I visited Lebanon many years ago. We look forward to visiting again. We travelled the country, we experienced all that Lebanon has to offer, and it's an amazing, magical, beautiful place, and I look forward to visiting once again. The people of Lebanon are incredibly welcoming, and I was certainly in awe of the country's beauty. It is a beautiful place. To see the effects of Lebanon and the devastating explosion in Lebanon 2 years ago, my heart goes out to Lebanon and to those that lost loved ones in Lebanon, in Beirut at the time. I know this feeling is shared by many people in New South Wales, many people right across Australia. Our heart goes out to our friends in Lebanon. And as a Member of Parliament, I was instrumental in ensuring that the Opera House was lit up with the Lebanese colours, the flag, 2 years ago in memory of those that lost loved ones in Beirut during that blast. Look, as a multicultural society, when one of us experiences adversity, we all experience it, no matter our own heritage or cultural background. So to the people of Lebanon, we are with you. We'd want to see, obviously, justice, but we obviously want to see Lebanon that peaceful country that it once was.
Absolutely, but there's an outrage over the disaster. The investigation into one of the world's biggest non-nuclear explosions has been blocked. Do you think we have to have an international investigation?
Well, absolutely. I mean, this needs to go all the way to the UN, and that's something that I fully support. I mean, the people of Lebanon want justice, and speaking to many Lebanese that still have family overseas, this is something that needs closure, and we won't get closure until it's fully investigated.
Mr. Mark, a week ago, your government announced funding support to asylum seekers. Can you highlight this initiative? How asylum seekers or temporary visa holders are able to get help, and what sort of help they can get?
Yeah, well, it's a really good question. Look, as part of our continued effort to ensure temporary protection holders and asylum seekers receive that support they need, the New South Wales Government has awarded additional funding to the service providers helping them. So many of our local community grants, funding through Multicultural New South Wales's Emergency Relief Support Grants Program, 15 non-government organisations will receive and share $4.2 million. So they continue the wonderful work that they're doing. And this funding was about filling the funding gap these NGOs were facing and trying to support the state's most vulnerable, our asylum seekers and temporary visa holders. And these organisations needed that leg up for that ongoing work, and I've visited many of them over the last 8 months or 9 months since being Minister for Multiculturalism. These community groups are doing a wonderful job, and they're helping.
What sort of help they provide to asylum seekers?
Yeah, so they are helping more than 7,000 asylum seekers, and that could be medical, it could be mental health, it could be joining those dots in enabling them to either go to school or their kids go to school, work placement, training, for example.
Language?
Language, absolutely.
Like when you go to areas like Fairfield, you tend to meet some of these asylum seekers, and they don't speak English at all.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And an example of one of these organisations is the Multicultural Youth Affairs Network, which received just under $200,000 to support young people between the ages of 15 and 25. And they include young parents, young people with disabilities, those that identify as LGBTIQ plus community. That's a wonderful organisation. I look forward to seeing them again. You know, this funding fills the gap that typically the federal government would fund, but you know, we are certainly there ensuring that no person is left behind.
You're a very active minister. You've been so busy, especially visiting the senior citizens centre. What are the biggest problems they have at the moment, or they're facing at the moment? Yeah,
look, you know, some of the biggest issues for our seniors across New South Wales is obviously making sure that, you know, they've got the services ready for them to use at any given time. And certainly across government, as Minister for Seniors, we are working to ensure that, you know, transport, that health is there to meet their needs, that, you know, for those that are wanting to continue in the workforce, you know, we're ensuring that they get the help and support that they need, the extra training if they need it. We've recently spoken to the Federal Minister, written, I should say, to the Federal Minister about seeing what we can do to see what seniors who want to work but don't necessarily want to, you know, jeopardise the pension are able to work a few extra hours without being penalised. And there are a lot of seniors out there.
Without that payment being affected.
Yeah, there are a lot of seniors out there that,
absolutely.
that are wanting to work, you know, and
they can contribute as well.
They do a wonderful job in our community.
And we have shortage.
We have a massive skill shortage, and this pandemic has seen
teachers,
nurses, doctors. This pandemic has seen the following: a massive skill shortage over the last few years. In fact, if you look at our population predictions, say 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago, we've actually declined in population. Our borders are closed. They're slowly reopening. We want to see more people, particularly skilled migrants, coming to this great country of ours and filling the gaps. There are every shop you visit here in Burwood, or every shop you visit in Parramatta or Fairfield or Hurstville in my own electorate has a vacancy, and many of them have more than one vacancy. You know, we have this skill shortage that needs to be filled. One way we can do this is ensuring that our seniors, those that want to work and are able to work, get back to work.
And are we looking into filling these gaps by getting workers from overseas?
We need to quicken up the process of skill migration. We need to quicken up the process of migration and processing, full stop. And I've already written to the Minister, Andrew Giles, to see what he can do to review this. People should not be waiting more than a year or two to have application processed one way or another. People want certainty in that application. They want to be able to begin a new life for whatever reason here in this wonderful country of ours. And as a nation with a skill shortage, for those that want to work and are skilled, we want them to get into employment and help build this great nation.
I mean, just look at looking at the photos a few days ago in Sydney's airport. It's shocking. It's just because of skill shortages. We don't have workers, so.
Well, we have skill shortages everywhere, from hospitals to schools to airports. You know, we have a third, or maybe even less than that, a third of the population working, sustaining a country for the rest of the population. And what we need in this great state and this great nation of ours is our borders to open. We need people coming in. Those that want to move here or migrate here for whatever reason, you know, do so. We need their processing to be quicker, much quicker. And you know, for those that have skilled already, into the workforce as quickly as possible.
Minister, energy bills skyrocketed recently. New South Wales government announced the opening of Energy Bill Buster program. Can you tell us about this program and what are the options?
Well, this is a great program, and this is something that we are doing right across government through Service New South Wales, which is our government agency connecting together departments and phone numbers and emails and websites under one umbrella. This Service New South Wales, and there's one just here in Strathfield and Burwood, is providing consumers and those local residents with, information on rebates, on concessions, for example. There are, Susan, over 80 concessions available for people right across New South Wales. 37 of those are available for self-funded retirees, but those 80 concessions and rebates are available for most people in New South Wales. They could be the energy rebate, they could be the kids rebate for families with kids. They could be travel rebates like the regional travel card for those living outside of Newcastle, Wollongong and Sydney. We've got a new regional travel card which provides you with $250 to use for taxis or buses or petrol. We've also got rebates in regards to toll relief, for example. There is a lot on offer for families. There is a lot on offer for seniors right across New South Wales. This is a government that's building a brighter future for New South Wales.
Mr. Mark, also your government announced new measures, a new campaign aimed at helping people from diverse communities that are facing problems with gambling. Can you tell us about that? This is a big problem.
Yeah, this is a big problem, and we're investing a new campaign aimed at helping people from diverse communities in particular who are facing problems with gambling and are uncertain on how to get that help. So we've got a 4-month campaign aimed at people struggling with gambling addiction from the Arabic, the Korean, the Vietnamese, the Chinese, the Hindi communities, and this opportunity, this particular campaign will be both in print media, in radio, in TV, for example, social media. And as part of this campaign, it helps to cut through to both those that are experiencing trouble, their friends, their family around them, but ensures that no one is left behind. So as part of this campaign, we're going to be seeing, excellent multicultural resources, counsellors on hand via Gamble Aware, and that is the first step to seek help, of course, using that Gamble Aware number. But as part of this process and as this campaign, which is called Changed Our Life campaign, it not only targets the gambler, but also targets the family around that gambler and the friends as well. So
not only you can help the gambler, but also the family?
That's exactly right, and that's part of this campaign. So it's the Gamble Awares counselling service is a 1-800 number, and if Susan, if I can let your listeners know what that 1-800 number is, it's 1-800-858-858. It's a wonderful program. The number that changes your life for those gamblers won't be those lucky numbers that you never comes through. It's the number through Gamble's Aware Counselling Service.
So it's the number that you call.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
To get help.
And behind that telephone is experienced people who are there to help and are willing to help, and they are discreet. And through whatever language it is, they are there in language to help speak to you directly.
Minister Nick Caldas, one of the most decorated and respected former police officers, is the new head of the Multicultural New South Wales Advisory Board. This is a bit different to his previous roles. So how can he contribute to social cohesion?
Well, the most decorated person that I know in New South Wales is Nick Caldas. What he has done both here and overseas, through the UN, for example, the investigation into the murder of Hariri, for example, as a Deputy Police Commissioner, and now as Chair of Multicultural New South Wales, this is a great win for our great state. And we are, as you know, Susan, one of the most multicultural communities anywhere in the world. And we are a nation of, more than 300 different ancestries, speaking over 200 different languages. And having Nick Caldus as the chair of this body is, I think, going to take Multicultural New South Wales to a new level. And of course, that agency is my department. As Minister, I'm responsible for that. And it is a real coup. I mean, for example, in this year's budget, we've seen an extra $28 million over 2 years in Multicultural New South Wales, taking the state budget for this agency just under $70 million. 4 years ago, it was only $39 million. So we've almost doubled it. And I've said
You've been lobbying.
I've been lobbying, that's right. And thank you to the Premier, Dominic Perrottet, and the Treasurer, Matt Keane, that we've been able to deliver this extra funding for community engagement, for the translation of important government and non-government messages, but also...
And this is good for the new graduates as well.
And absolutely. Yes, good news for the new graduates. And as part of this, we're also creating a religious advisory council chaired by Nick Caldus, in addition to Nick also chairing the body Multicultural New South Wales.
Does this include also the initiative or what you've announced recently, Stronger Together?
Yeah, as part of this, yeah.
So it is a part of it,
It is part of this. So all this funding will go towards greater community engagement. You know, ensuring that communities are not left behind, that our community groups are able to once again celebrate, acknowledge their cultural days, their independent days and so forth. And of course, the Lebanese community has many of those in the calendar that I tend to. But, you know, saying that, the Stronger Together grant program, you know, is to host those local cultural events and festivals once again. So we're going to see a lot more funding there. We're going to see a lot more events and cultural events being undertaken through the funding that they receive through Multicultural New South Wales.
Minister, who's entitled for these grants through Stronger Together?
Yeah, so councils, local community groups, multicultural groups.
So you have to apply.
You have to apply, yes, absolutely.
Is there any criteria?
There is a criteria. There is a strong criteria. It's independent from me or my office. Multicultural New South Wales assesses every single grant on merit. And for those community groups listening to your program today, my advice would be to check out the information on our website, multiculturalnewsouthwales.gov.au, to be provided with the information necessary to apply for those grants.
Any final message to our listeners?
Well, I just wanted to firstly, Susan, to say thank you. Thank you to Radio Tomorrow for the wonderful 19 years that you provided this wonderful community program to our Middle Eastern community here in New South Wales. 20 years next year, a big year.
A big milestone.
And a big milestone for this wonderful radio program. And I think you do a wonderful job, to you and to Tony and to the entire team. I really want to say thank you for what you have done, particularly over the last 2 years, but over the last 19 and into the future.
Thank you so much for your time as well.
Thank you very much.
Very lovely to have you always.
Thank you.
Thank you. أحبائي كنا بلقاء مباشر مع الوزير مارك كوري.